We're coming, and we ain't backing down.
We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror.
Everybody just do your job. You understand that?
Hey, will you shut up?
I'm bitterly disappointed with the officiating today.
Guys being dudes.
And they run through our like through a tin horn, man.
Split Zone Duo. My name is Stephen Godfrey at 38 Godfrey at Split Zone Duo. You're probably just going to notice that audio quality right away. Although I did a quick test a second ago and it doesn't seem terrible. I'm sitting in the corner of a kind of a little waiting room area. I am using the equipment for today's show. Normally we use recording equipment. I am using my very old iPhone mini and wired earbuds that have a little microphone. You know, you see all the young influencers, the Zoomers, and they hold the little microphone piece up to their mouth. That's what I'm doing right now, hopefully, so you're not getting any scratchiness or any ambient noise. I am doing this bootleg because I was going to take the week off from the single wing. Things have been crazy, obviously. Things are crazy in general right now, post-election. The single wing's not going away. I'll be back. We're planning to do the bigger holiday turkey drive, Dad Drive Survival. That's what we call it. Yes. Sorry, it's been a long day. We're going to do all that. I was in planning meetings with Alex and Richard for the week, and they just said, hey, let's skip single wing this week. Let's focus on some other things. We had the playoff rankings. Anyway, I guess I just felt guilty because here I am talking into a tiny little microphone on my phone. But look, hey, I'm not going to bore you and be record store dad here, but some of the greatest albums of all time were recorded using just Spartan setups, okay? Like, most great guitar sounds came from minimalist approach. Just going to throw that out there. I'll shut up now. I had a series of back-to-back calls in the Coach Goss community because I'll tell you exactly how it happened. The Napier news broke today, and I had put one line in the water earlier this week, kind of forgot about it. I'm not a great fisherman. And then a lot of people were kind of rounding up and catching up with me, and it just so happened that it was like phone call. Just like kind of, hey, what do you think of the news? This was always a possibility on the board, but again, I want to stress that's more for the dysfunction at Florida than anything else. It wasn't because I think there's a line in there from Scott Strickland like, oh, it's obvious Billy's players are working hard they love him. No, it's just like, I don't know if I'm going to be fired or what, and the whole university's in a bit of a pickle. That would have been the more accurate descriptor. So I'm going to do a quick info dump for you guys, and then provided this clears, hopefully some processing from our producer, Anthony Vito, we'll put this up for you. This is what the situation is in terms of a carousel right now. It's not what we're used to, but I opened one of my phone calls tonight and I was like, hey, slow season. And he goes, yeah, but not. Okay, what if I told you I was staring at a board that said there's going to be major openings at Florida State, Purdue, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Florida, Utah, Arizona, Auburn. And that's before we get into like the group of five. That's a big ass, that's a hell of a carousel, isn't it? Well, it may not hold the same intrigue, but I'm telling you right now, the phones are burning because all of those places are going to be hiring coordinators. I am going to get into what I think might actually be a head coaching carousel at the top level in a second. There is a tremendous amount of churn for sitting head coaches who have to fix situations and they're, with the House settlement coming, there's been a pretty significant slowdown, especially at the group of five and I would say the low group of five, and then what do we call them? The middle two, the ACC Big 12 level. That doesn't mean that there won't be movement and there won't be intrigue, because I just rattled off a list of schools that are looking at replacing either one or both coordinators. I was going to add Baylor into that, but I've had conflicting reports that the changes that were made prior to this season are fine with the establishment, but I would definitely label that big boy as like subject to change down the stretch of the season. It is early November. There's ball to be played. I have thrown this out as a hypothetical before, but like, look at somebody like a Tyson Helton, you know, who's been sitting at Western Kentucky forever. Now, maybe could he interview and get the East Carolina job and move up, you know, a mark in the group of 5? Yes, he could, definitely. And then a job like Western Kentucky would open. But if he doesn't, or if you're an offensive-minded head coach right now, and I still think this includes Jason Candle, I do. A lot of schools are under pressure to make big swing hires. Like Florida is going to make changes all over, all sides. Like the staff is going to feel the brunt of this, not Billy. There's going to be for sure an OC change, for sure. Florida State, I feel like the same. You can say the exact same thing right now. West Virginia has fired a DC. Purdue has fired an OC. I think there's going to be a ton of staff clean-out changes at Oklahoma State. I think there's probably going to be an offensive change at Wisconsin. Oklahoma is open right now. Utah, OC, Ludwig's out of a job. We'll talk about Auburn in a couple different ways, but let's just talk about Auburn in this fact. If Hugh Freeze is the head coach there going into the offseason, there's going to be staff changes. They will force him to make staff changes there. That alone right there is a significant amount of churn. And what's really interesting about it relative to other years is I think somewhere in that list is maybe three head coaches somewhere else that are going to, you know, we've seen this at multiple levels, multiple jump points. Like I've used the Sean Lewis example 1,000 times, but also like the head coach of North Dakota State left last year, guys, to go be an assistant on USC staff. I think we're about to see a lot more of this.